Hello everyone, you are welcome to our channel GEM, and please don't forget to subscribe our channel to keep on getting more videos like this. Today I, Nishit Sharma, stand before you to tell you something about the poet of the poem The Laburnum Top, written by Ted Hughes. After that, Ms. Ginu Sharma will be explaining you the poem. About the author. Actually, Ted Hughes was the pen name of Edward James Hughes, and Edward James Hughes was his real name. He was an English poet and children's writer. He was born in Middleroyd in the West Riding district of Yorkshire, England on August 17, 1930. His childhood was quiet and dominantly rural. Hughes won many of Europe's highest literary honors and was appointed Poet Laureate of England in 1984, a post he held until his death. He passed away in October 28, 1998 in Devonshire, England from cancer. Now Ms. Ginu Sharma will be explaining you the poem. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishit. Now I will explain you the poem The Laburnum Top, grade 11, second poem, Hornbill book, CBSE syllabus. Before I start with the explanation of the poem, I would like to ask you some question. Have you ever seen a mother bird feeding her baby birds? If yes, how was this kind of experience? Did you find any change in the surroundings? Did it affect the surroundings? You might be surprised I am asking you this question because it is somehow related to our today's poem, that is The Laburnum Top. In this poem, we will come to know about goldfinch, a bird who feeds her baby birds in the laburnum top. So now we will discuss about it. Before I start with the explanation of the poem, I request all my viewers to keep a notebook or pen in the hands. You can note down the meanings of difficult words as well as the poetic devices. I have also mentioned the actual message given by the poet through this poem in the last. So let's start with the explanation of the poem. The laburnum top. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So this poem is divided into three parts. First part, we are being told how does this laburnum tree look. Second part, we will come to know after the arrival of the goldfinch bird, what were the changes in the tree. And third part will come to know after the departure of the goldfinch bird how this tree looks. So let's begin. The laburnum top is silent, quite still in the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. So this is a picture of the laburnum top. It is the afternoon time. It is the month of September. Yellow is referring to the sunlight. Yellow is referring to the death. Yellow is referring to the silence. Yellow is referring to the beauty. So this is the time when sun rays are falling on the tree. This time tree is looking completely silent. What happens? Whenever the rain falls, there is a movement in the leaves of the trees. Branches shake and the leaves fall. Whenever the wind blows, again there is a movement. What happens when there is a movement? Whenever the wind blows, there is a movement of the branches. As a result, the tree shakes its branches. Some leaves are also fallen. But here the scene is different. We are talking about the afternoon time. It is sunlight time, and this time tree is standing still. There is not any kind of movement here at this moment. This yellow is referring to the sunlight, that is the sun rays falling on the tree. It is the autumn season and it is standing still. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. What is the impact of spring season? In the spring season, trees leaves are green colored and they flowers bloom also. But in the autumn season, the color of the leaves start fading. It changes from green to yellow, and slowly it starts falling from the trees. So this is what happening. The leaves have started changing its color from green to yellow, and all its seeds have fallen on the ground. So we can say in the very first passage we are just being told about the tree which is presenting a death-like silence. Complete silence. There is no movement. It is standing still. So it is actually giving the passive note in the beginning. It is feeling very sad, dejected, lonely at this moment. No doubt it is very huge. No doubt it is big enough. Still it is not happy. Now till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. We are being told about the picture of the laburnum top till the arrival of the goldfinch. Now till the goldfinch comes, that means before the arrival of the goldfinch, this tree was looking yellowish, this tree was looking dull, this tree was looking dejected. But what happens after the arrival of this goldfinch? It starts chirping and it enters with a sudden quickness, amazement, and it reaches at the branch end. At the end of the branch it reaches. Then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt. Now we are being told about the movement of the goldfinch with the lizard. Here the movement of the goldfinch is compared to that of a lizard. Have you ever noticed how does a lizard attack on its prey? It is quick, it is fast. Most important thing is it is abrupt and alert whenever it attacks on its prey. You must have seen, even in our homes we see these lizards whenever there are small insects, the way it starts its movement in a very slow manner and immediately it attacks on its prey, and the same time that insect is there in its mouth. So that kind of movement is at this moment found in the goldfinch. It is entering the tree. It is as alert and abrupt as the lizard. She enters the thickness this time because there is some particular motive behind entering this tree, because in the thick branches of the tree this goldfinch bird has made her nest where her birds are living. So she enters those thick branches of the tree and a machine starts up of chittering. Now what is this machine? Machine is actually referring to the baby birds, right? So those baby birds, what is the reaction of the children immediate after seeing their mother? There is a wide smile on the faces of the children. They feel happy, they get excited, they laugh, they dance, and everything they do, whatever they do whenever they feel happy. So this time those baby birds who are living in the nest in those thick branches of the tree, this time their mother bird has entered. That's why there is a sudden change in their behavior. That machine is referring to those baby birds. They start chattering and of tremor of wings. Tremor of wings is the involuntary vibration of wings, that is fluttering of wings. They are happy, so they are just fluttering their wings and trillings. So they are trillings is again the sound produced by the birds. They are so excited on seeing their mother that they are continuously chattering, chirping, and they are fluttering their wings just to show the excitement, just to show the happiness to their mother. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. So this is the moment the tree which was in the beginning completely dead, silent. Now what is there? There is a continuous movement of the birds. They are chattering, they are chirping, and it is a happy kind of scene which is giving happiness even to the tree which seemed to be sad in the beginning. It is the engine of her family. What we need to do when we want engine to work, we need to add fuel to the engine. Same way, this mother bird, by providing something to eat to her baby birds, she is actually adding fuel to the engine. Here again engine is referring to what? Referring to those baby birds whom she is giving something to eat. So she is giving that fuel to them. She is giving them sufficient to eat. She stocks it full, then flirts out to a branch end. So what is the motive? She had been flying away throughout the day just because she wanted to collect that much feeding for the baby birds that they should eat to their fills. So this is what she has done. She is giving them feed to eat, and she is giving them to a sufficient, then flirts out to a branch and showing her barred face identity mask. After giving them sufficient to eat, she goes to a branch end. That is the end of the branch. Now what is there? She is also equally worried that her children are living at some safe place or not. So being a mother, it is her responsibility to keep a check on every danger which can be responsible for their death. So she has to be extra alert at this moment. So before leaving them, she goes there at the branch and there, what is the appearance of this goldfinch? It is also a yellow colored bird, and when it is sitting on the branch and among those yellow leaves, there is something black on its head. So when it is sitting on the branch, and it seems as if it is a part of the tree only. So her face is just like an identity mask. That is, that black colored on her body is also just kind of identity mask. So she is sitting there trying to hide herself and trying to keep a proper check on every danger so that her children should be safe. Then with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Now she has done the complete duty. She has given feeding to her children. She has also kept a check on the dangers. Now there is whispering. Maybe she is trying to make her children understand how they should stay in her absence. So there are whispering sounds, that is, speaking in a very low voice that no one should know what they're talking about. After that, she again flies away towards the infinite, that is towards the sky, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Now what happens when she has left? Again there is complete silence on the tree, because now again there is not any kind of movement. It is completely silent. So this is what we have discussed in the poem. Now let's see the meanings of difficult words. Laburnum is what? It is a small tree with hanging branches of yellow flowers and poisonous seeds. Laburnum top, that is the top of the laburnum tree. Goldfinch, it is a small singing bird with yellow feathers on wings. Twitch, the movement of a small body part. Chirrup, sound made by the birds. Startlement, amazement, a sudden unexpected action which causes surprise. Sleek, smooth, abrupt, sudden or unexpected. Twittering, singing sound of a bird. Tremor, shiver, shake. Trillings, singing repeatedly. Stalks, add fuel to the engine. Flirts, moves briskly. Eerie, strange. Infinite, here it refers to sky. Launches, flies away. Subsides, returns. Now children, you have understood the meanings of the words, but there is always a hidden, a deep meaning in every poem. So what does the poet wants to convey through this poem? Let's see. He describes a mutual relationship between a laburnum tree, which is large, beautiful, but quite alone, and a goldfinch bird, which is quite amusing, beautiful, but without a shelter. The laburnum tree gives the house to the bird and its young chicks, and the bird in turn takes away its dead silence. Thus the poet here in the poem wants to tell the reader the importance of living with each other. Every person has different capabilities and things. We should live with each other and always try to lend a helping hand, and the others will also do the same. What else he has tried to convey through this poem? He is trying to convey the message that life is a process of exchange and transformation. People are alive because they undergo exchange of energy. The goldfinch transforms the tree and makes it alive. Without the goldfinch and the chicks, the laburnum is just another tree. The poem examines and articulates the interrelationship between soul and body through common symbols of bird and tree. The laburnum tree symbolizes the pattern. The laburnum tree symbolizes the pattern of our life in general. Life is seemingly dull and inanimate, but it is the attitude of a person towards life that makes it meaningful and worth living. The goldfinch brings cheer, happiness and mirth to the simple and inanimate surroundings. Its happiness is infectious and all-encompassing. So I request all my viewers to go through this message. It is very important. We all human beings are complement to each other. In this poem we came to know how this laburnum tree gave a shelter to a goldfinch. That is no doubt a very big tree, but that is dull, dejected and sad. But after the arrival of the bird, there was a change. What kind of change? There was happiness on the tree. So this is what we discuss about life. Life is actually give and take. So we should go for it. Now let's discuss about the poetic devices. We have alliteration, that is the repetition of same letter with same sound in the same line. September, sunlight. Simile, comparison by using like or as. Sleek, as a lizard, it explicit comparison between the goldfinch and the lizard. Metaphor, a machine of chitterings, it is the engine of our family. The goldfinch family is compared to a machine or engine. Her barred face, identity mask. The shadow on the bird's face is compared to an identity mask. Personification. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Tree is personified, that is, tree is given a human quality. Transferred epithet. Her barred face, identity mask. The flowers of the laburnum plant are barred, but here it is placed before the bird's face. Onomatopoeia. In this figure of speech, a word is formed from a sound similar to it. Now, whenever the poets are using the same sound, which actually it refers to, then we call it as onomatopoeia. That is hissing of the snake. That is chattering of the birds. Examples of onomatopoeia in this poem are twitching chirrup, chitterings, trillings and whistle chirrup. Then transferred epithet is one description which refers to a character or event, but it is used to describe a different situation. Or her barred face, identity mask is an example of transferred epithet in this poem. The flowers of the laburnum tree fall like bars, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the shadow of the flowers on her face looks like she is wearing a mask that has bars on it. So this was all about the poem. If you want to watch more videos like this, please do subscribe and mention in the comment box how you like this video. Thank you.